Hi, Ellie, and everyone at the Gelogia stream. All the Orville fans, how are you? This is Scott Grimes, aka Gordon Malloy. Thank you so much for watching this. We are all about our fans. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for our fans. We are in the middle of third season. We were in the middle of doing the third season, but something came up while we were filming. But we're going to continue. It's going to be the best season ever. Hope you enjoy this YouTube channel. This is Captain Gordon Malloy saying...
Excuse me.
Oh, shit.
Captain?
Sorry, Commander.
That's right.
This is Lieutenant. What are you? You're Commander.
I'm Commander.
Commander, sorry, yeah. This is Lieutenant Gordon Malloy saying thank you, and I hope you enjoy the channel. I'm sorry that I swore, Commander.
Get out of my seat.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Hey guys, Gelogia loves. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm having some technical difficulties right now. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, can everyone hear me now? Sorry, that light is like really bright. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. So, somebody give me a thumbs up. Just kidding, it's fine. Waiting for my thumbs up. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. So many technical issues. So Gelogia, my loves. Hello, everyone in the chat. I'm just gonna add scoop. Friggin' shuttle hog over here. Hello, everybody. Hi, Kai. Hi, Sith Lord. Hi, Trey. Hi, Louise. Hello, Mr. CCDV. DJ. Live at the Love Shack. Who else do we have? Happy Dinosaur. Hi, my Chomp Chomp. If I missed you guys, hey, Orville Nation. Hey, PJ. Digging the new profile picture, DJ Odyssey. Give me one sec. Live at the Love Shack says WTF for some reason. Sorry. Wow, awesome life-size background. Yes. So I am here on board with Havina and Captain Ed Mercer at this time, and we are on our way. We are on our way to do one of the scariest things I think I've ever been a part of in my career. We are going to convince the Union Federation that female Moclans deserve the same rights as male Moclans. And honestly, guys, I'm so nervous because for the longest time, Moclans have been the driving force to the weapons industry, to us being able to basically fight and be ready for our enemies. And I'm not saying that they hold all the cards, but they kind of hold all the cards to a certain extent. but this is something I'm very passionate about, and I hope you're passionate as well, is that everyone deserves equal rights and everyone deserves the chance to be heard. So it's really important that you guys are here with us right now. Oops. It's really important that you guys are here with us right now because I need your help. I need your input. I need everything you guys think and feel about this so we can be best prepared going into this meeting with the union. Hi, Mondo. Hello. I think I got everybody at this point. I'm really sorry if I missed you. This is really important discussion though, guys. I need to know all your thoughts, all your feelings, everything about this. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this away because I actually don't think I'll be able to do that whole selecting your comments, but I will shout them out, I promise. So first things first thing I wanted to talk about with the female Moclans. How did we get to the point where women became lesser? Women they were deemed inferior of the species. If we want to understand fully how the Moclans feel about women in general, we actually have to go back to season 1, episode 3 of about a girl, right? So before the tribunal, Advocate Kagas tells Kelly, he says, women are a birth defect. Being born as a female is a serious birth defect. Women are physically, intellectually, and socially weak. For effective, they don't possess the physical strength necessary for effective participation in industrialized Moclan society. Well, how did this come about, guys? How sandwiches. Okay, that's funny, DJ. That's funny. If you guys look up, DJ has said women became inferior when they stopped making the Moclan men sandwiches. That's cute. Hire female Moclans to rebuild up Earth Arms Industries. Show Moclans how to fight. That's okay. I am gonna select comments. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place today, you guys. Love me, forgive me, hate me, whatever. So Live at the Love Shack says that female Moclans could be hired to rebuild up Earth's Arms Industries. Show the Moclans how to fight. That's an interesting. Please do share this stream with everyone that you can. That's an interesting take on the whole idea, because part of what I was thinking about going into the stream was what purpose do the Moclan females serve? To a certain extent, I know that sounds like really cold, but women were deemed inferior somewhere along the lines of industrialization. Mr. Lundell says, we don't know the truth about what happened in Moclan Society. We only have the story told by the victors. That's very good. I love that. And hi, Mr. Lundell. That's actually, I love that because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but all of history, everything that happens with it is written by the people who won. You know, any battle, any victory, anything that came about, it's written by the people who actually won. So we don't know the truth about why females were deemed lesser than. If I think throughout human history, I think back to the 1900s when women didn't receive the right to vote until 1918. And even then, a woman her place was considered in the home, cooking, cleaning, having a martini ready. Well, that's a good point, Tink. We'll get to that in just a second. Having a martini ready. And, in our history, in the history of Earth, women were seen as lesser, and to a certain extent, it still is an issue. That last day, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sweating, like I have this light on me in my hair. Ugh. But so when we never got to the point, though, that we basically wanted to eradicate completely a gender of our species. We never wanted to completely eradicate females. So how did Moclan Society get to this point where they said, yeah, let's get rid of all females because they are so weak. They're almost a burden to us. Was it when Moclan started industrializing, maybe? Havina, and somebody in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but Havina was a storyteller, not a history writer, but she was very good. They revered her in their society without knowing it was her. Maybe they tried to stop them destroying the planet in favor of full industry. Oh my gosh, I love that idea. I didn't even think of that, Louise. Maybe, just maybe, the female Moclans went to their brother Moclans, their husband Moclan, all the men, and said, you can't destroy our planet. You can't do this. You can't turn it into this ugly, disgusting, industrialized planet. That's an excellent idea. I like that. Happy Dinosaur says, I view Moclan's treatment of women like the Middle East treatment of women. It makes me sick, and probably started out some type of religious dogma that only a few pieces of it survive. Without getting too political and without offending anyone, because everyone is welcome here, and that's part of the discussion, is I want us to kind of, somebody told me to relax. Sith Lord told me to relax. I'm relaxed. I'm good. Just give me a second. Anyways, part of this is how we view it from our circumstances, because in this situation, I'm not saying or rooting for any specific side, but to people in the Middle East, this is what's right, guys. This is what makes sense. This is how you're supposed to live your life. This is their God's will. So we can bash on it all we want, but when you get them up there on the stage, this is their belief. So keep that in mind. Thank you so much, PJ. Yeah, it's a little bit of the reason why I was late, because I was like, rushing around. I'm sorry. If she's not asleep, tell your wife a big hello from the Orville family, Yosef. Like, and I'm not going to get into like this whole feministic thing, because I do believe to a certain extent, my beliefs are, I'm a businesswoman, and so I hold myself very strong. But when it comes to having a companion, as far as relationships go, I don't want to piss off the feminists, but I believe there are certain things that you do for people when you love them. And if it's going out of your way to make sure there's a cold beer or their favorite drink right when they get home from a long, hard day of work, I'm not against that. So yes, while I'm a feminist and Angular, I'm so sorry. I saw you earlier. I didn't say hi to you. I apologize. Sorry, I cut myself off there. But I do that. While I'm not a major feminist, I do support women. I support women having equal rights. I support that women should be able to be business leaders, that women should be able to be, does that work? Yeah, the Havinas, right, of the world. But there are, yeah. So it's a delicate balance. Yeah, no politics in my stream, guys. We address that, but let's keep it fun. Let's keep it friendly. No. That's okay. Bird can keep doing his stream. That's fine. I want to get back to the subject, you guys. Why were women seen as weaker? And on top of that, if someone is born female and they undergo a corrective surgery, it doesn't make them male by birth. Okay, I just want to touch on that. I don't know if the creators thought about that. I don't know if it was just something they kind of overlooked for a second. But you still have a female form. Just because you get some things changed and some hormones and all this stuff, it's not going to change what you were born as necessarily. So is that something that the producers of the Orville are going to address, as far as the fact that, you know, when a woman goes from a woman to a man, it doesn't change the fact that she's not the same physical level of strength and everything. I'm sorry, I don't want to get too much into that, but I don't see how it's beneficial to turn females to men if that's their concern, that physical strength is the issue. Hi, Kronos, thank you for being here. There's nothing wrong with feelings in a relationship. Thank you, Yosef. If both sexes can naturally reproduce, that could be the reason why they could get rid of them completely. Whereas in our world, they've tended towards controlling female rights. Absolutely, Louise, I was thinking about that to the extent of, so what's one of the reasons we haven't gotten rid of women in the history of Earth, I guess, even if we saw them as lesser? And it's because you need women to reproduce. You need women to, you know, have kids. Whereas the Moclans, we still don't 100% understand how their reproductive system works, but they are able to have eggs. And with both males, or maybe you think one is a male, but he's actually a female at birth. I don't know. But it could be, if it truly is at the end of the day, that male Moclans are really able to all reproduce with each other without one of them having been switched from birth as into male, from female to male, then that could be a good reason to get rid of women. But then why not just genocide the whole female population instead of changing them? Because that has been done as well throughout history. So it's food for thought, for sure. The Moclan Society is a society where the feminists won. They turn off females. That's funny. Oh, thank you for giving me. Something must have happened to the male Moclans against the female Moclans, which put a rift between the males and females, then caused a big fight between the males and the female Moclans. I would really love to know the history and how we got to this point, because that seems so extreme. That it seems like such an extreme thing. How can you have a species where that is how you are born, either male or female, and all of a sudden just one sex of the whole species decides you're inferior? And that's really what I wanted to cover with this. Hi, Jeff B. That's PJ, sorry. Happy chomping. I'm guessing he said that to Happy Dino. Jim Henry, thank you for being here. I wonder if Bordas or Clyden know if either or both were born female and surgically altered. I think because Clyden said he found out that he was born female and had the operation, everything, because he was brought on board a ship and had a physical, right? So I'm assuming that since Bordas is on board a ship, he got his physical done. And it's safe to assume, I'm guessing, that Bordas was born male. I think at the end of the day here, what we really need to digest and take away from this is that opinions and beliefs and how you view the world and you view your peers is so subject to change all the time. It's always going to be subject to change. And that's okay, but we need to hear out the other side when it comes along, yeah? So again, we all know that Moclan men are hell-bent on women just being so inferior to all of them. And I'm really nervous, like we're all really nervous here in this space shuttle right now on our way out there. You know, we've been working 9 to 5 on this. And the Moclans are very stubborn in their ways that females are unnecessary and unworthy. So we're kind of nervous about making our point. So everything you guys can contribute to this is really going to help us when we speak with the Federation, right? Mondo says Clyden was a female. Yes, Jim Henry was trying to say was Bortus. Yeah, Clyden was a female. I'm assuming Bortus was born male. Both sexes can't reproduce. You need males and females in order to reproduce, and it's a lot better to make a female looks like a male and still be able to reproduce. You're losing me a little bit live at the Love Shack. But frogs don't need females and males to reproduce. Asexual species don't need both sexes to reproduce. Hi, Dave. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. Hello. Happy Dinosaur responded to something. I don't remember about Clyden. Clyden was born female. And I think it's one of the issues. He struggles so much with it. He says that he's grateful he got the surgery, that he still loves and respects everything about Moclan Society. However, there's all this angst and hatred that comes from him that you have to wonder, is it because he was forced to get something he never really wanted in the first place? If a species is hermaphrodite, then both genders would be present in each Moclan. In that case, there'd be no reason for there to be females. Okay. But if both sexes are present, how does one take on the form of either male or female? How is that? I guess I'm not super educated about that. Hello, Amber Sim. Thank you so much for joining us, Amber. I'm really happy you're here. Can't wait to hear your input about female Moclans and how they contribute to everything. Okay, weird. Did Bortus lay the egg, or did Clyden lay the egg and Bortus sat on it? Somebody remind me about that. There's Dave again. Nature. Nature. It finds a way. Yes, I knew that. That's where my head went too. Jurassic Parks never work. I kind of want to see if we can make it work. I love Junior. I don't know who that is. DJ saying hi to Amber. Tell that to those poor dinosaurs that they used Kronos. Bortus needs his mustache. Thank you. I love that. No, he doesn't need his mustache, but we'll let you stay in that happy little world. Looks like we are all caught up as far as this topic go. Oh, some popped up. Just kidding. Let's see what Tink has to say. What about the male Moclans who love women? Okay. You guys are all jumping the gun. This is actually something I did want to bring up though. So let's go ahead and move into this topic. Because I can't remember his name for the life of me. But the one who he was really attracted to Tala. Yeah, you remember him? And he basically was sentenced to a fate worse than death. So there are Moclan men who are attracted to females. So what does that mean? So the female Moclans, we already know, like, this is a huge deal. Every Moclan is freaking out about it. Is it better or worse for the male Moclans that are actually attracted to females? That they now have the option of there being female Moclans. Do we have to get used to that? What does that mean? Thank you, BJ. I'm gonna give some people wrenches eventually after I get this all down, I promise. Thanks, DJ. I appreciate that. This is supposed to be like my professional business lawyer look and everything. Joseph says, I think the episode is more about society norms, acceptance of diversity, and females represent here the element that certain groups oppose. That's good. I like that. I do. Amphibians will switch gender if there are too many of one gender. Maybe something like this happened to Moclans. Okay. Oh, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Tink and Amber. Yes, low car. That's right. Still my favorite. Tala's my favorite. But okay. Yeah. Thank you, PJ. Just like in Deep Space Nine, when Quark and Rom's mom wanted to be treated equally instead of having no rights, able to wear clothes and to make profit. I don't know what that's all about, but for all you Trekkies, it definitely we know Seth has always looked to kind of send a love note out to the Trek universe, right? So that's definitely, I can see that something would spawn from that. Maybe some Moclans are bi. Honestly, I think the gender and the sexual orientation and what you're attracted to and what you're not, I feel like it's all so overwhelmingly confusing with this society because things have been, like in our opinion, things have been like so crazy. I don't even think there's a word that exists for how mentally out of control I think this has gotten to a certain extent by our standards. Is sorry. Okay. That's cute. This is how I go to business meetings too. And I rock it. Anyways, I'm gonna put that one back up. So women were deemed inferior. And let's move on. The next point I wanted to bring up was how can female Moclans be intellectually weak? If Havina, I know I'm saying we're on our way there, but we already know Havina goes and she gives this super amazing, powerful speech. She even makes Dolly Parton work in it. Can somebody who's intellectually weak, and not only that, but she wrote some of the greatest literature that the entire Moclan Society, all the men revered. They idolized the author she was. So really, can there be cases where women aren't intellectually? What I didn't like about a girl is that they used Alara. Kelly used Alara to prove that women are strong. But as they pointed out in the episode, Zillion females are that way. They didn't use female Moclan because they didn't have that availability. Whereas if they had Havina from the beginning, one of your most revered authors, somebody intellectually strong, somebody strong enough to live in a freaking cave in a mountain for years, is a shining example of you being stupid and putting the wrong thing down. Just kidding, you know. Sorry, I haven't seen this show, but there are a lot of similarities. No, that's cool. This is really cool about the Orville. What's really cool about it is it offers perspective into all kinds of issues. Yes, Star Trek, and I think Star Trek did this as well from the feedback I get, but it complements and it brings to light things that we are dealing with today. So regardless of whether or not you've actually watched it, regardless of whether or not you know what a Moclan is, you know that in the past, women have not been treated equally. And it's actually rather difficult for women to get equal rights, even to this day. I'm not trying to be like feminist, that's just the case. Hello, Carlo, thank you for being here. Switch intellect for skin color, and there you have the metaphor. That's a good point too. Who is most inferior? And Kapla Bird, what are we having the most issues with at this time? And all of it, and definitely it's up to you. what I think Seth and the creators left it vague and open enough to be able for you to make your own connections and interpretations and tie that around, right? There are people in our society that believe women or certain races are mentally inferior in the face of all evidence to the contrary. It's very human. This is a good point. I think every day, and that's what I love about the Orville, because I think every day, people kind of get into this, I can't think of any words. I'm sorry. The stigma of that their opinion, because it's theirs, and because we inhabit these bodies, we inhabit our minds, we believe that our opinion is the one most significant, and it's the one that should be heard most around the world. And what nobody seems to be capable of doing, well, a society as a whole seems to be capable of doing, is simply acknowledging that there are other points of view. That you don't have to admit you're wrong. Come on, guys. You don't have to admit you're wrong. But at the end of the day, you have to acknowledge that your point of view isn't the only one out there. And it's not the only good one. We're not going to give... We're not going to give Bird crap. We are just happy he's here. Even the Klingons are not stupid enough to deny warrior status for women. There is so much I feel women could contribute. And in my opinion, I'm not trying to hate on the men Moclans. This is just how I feel. Is the species that physically can't lift a big metal bar like you can the inferior one? Or is the gender that can't be intelligent and creative enough to find a position that women would drive the workforce even further, to be able to say, you know what, women aren't exactly right for this position in our society, but let's give them the option to do this. Is that the lesser of the species? That's my question. So definitely, thank you for geloging before you come, Bird of Prey. Glad you took care of that. And he is complying, everybody. I love it. Squirrels. Everything I know about women I learned from the movie Anchorman, he says. How racist you are. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here now, Bird. Give him a little crap. He deserves it. Oh, no, I like to be nice to Bird. Bird is one of my favorites. There's also the whole thing about them operating on female babies to make them male. That doesn't change the brains they have. Exactly. That's what, because I watched it today just to make sure I had remembered it right. Why were women deemed lesser? And in episode 3, Advocate Kagas says it's a birth defect because women are physically, intellectually, and socially inferior. They are weak in those stands. But if you do this operation and you just change genitalia, basically, maybe some hormones, I don't know. I mean, it's the future. Maybe there's something way, way more advanced about it. But you're not changing the ability for their intellect to develop or their muscles to grow better or anything. And so it's really this interesting point to think that something as simple as a sex change. And again, I don't want to get too much into it. I believe that if people feel they were born a certain way, that they are not on the outside, I believe in that firmly. And I'm an advocate for that. But this isn't something people like female Moclans got to grow up and choose was their truth. Sorry, I'm like all over the place tonight. I apologize. Women are different to men, and that is a very good thing. We were made to complement each other. Everything in this world is to balance out. If everyone was the same and did the same thing and was the same way, there would be nothing unique or beautiful about our planet, really, in my opinion. Give me just a second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That was the teacher for Topa and the other kids is Counselor Troy from Star Trek. Good catch. For all of you who didn't know that, now you know. I'm learning about women by trial and error. I have so many taser burns and mace in my eyes. That's unfortunate. That's a good question. I actually was having this discussion with someone as well, Mr. Miles, is how much of the actual population is born female, and how do they keep it to the extent that they believe a female is only born once every 75 years. So it would be interesting to find out how much of the population was actually born female. I think that if they can find a common ground between the female and Moclan races, I think they would be able to bring them together, but it will take a lot of hard work to make it happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, if we think about the history of the world when it came to crusades and religious missions and establishing America, even breaking away from the monarchy, the history of Earth has taught us that it's not something you just do. The pyramids weren't built in a day. Rome wasn't conquered in a day. Whatever it is, it's not something you just do. And this is going to take time. If we want this to be something that resolves and everyone is happy, it's going to take time. They have some hormone changes as part of the operation. I don't remember that, but I can definitely see that. I mean, I can imagine that would be a thing, because when people get sex changes now, they have to take specific hormones, right? So I can imagine that there's some kind of futuristic, wouldn't the hormones take over at some point? Maybe there's this is what I was just saying, maybe there's some kind of like futuristic injection that they do, that the hormones are always suppressing the female hormones and promoting the male hormones. I guess that's a possibility in the future. Oh God, yes. Topa is going to be so great. I feel like I'm going to do like a whole show just about Topa. Because there's so much going on, and children are some of the most beloved things in our world. They're the future. They're the future of the world. And so I think it's really important that we spend a whole show just talking about Topa. I really do. Because he is going through a lot. Because I'm scaly, groovy movies. Yes, Mr. Lundell is in the house. He says there are far more female Moclans than they are probably willing to admit. And I bet the problem is getting worse. Absolutely. I mean, they've kind of already admitted it, but their fake news they put out was that a female Moclan was born only once only 75 years. That is obviously a lie. And so the question really is how much of their society is truly female. I assume they were altering them at a genetic level and removing any organs they aren't going to use. Okay, I can see that. I mean, I'm assuming that they do remove the organs. I just don't feel like that's enough to fully change everyone, I guess. Season 3 is coming. That's actually kind of that's kind of what I wanted to get into next. I was going to ask, I guess we covered that. What I want to talk about and close the show out with today is what's going to happen? What's going to happen, guys? We didn't get equal rights for female Moclans. We just got them to leave the ones who are still there alone, to leave our sanctuary alone. What's going to happen to the female Moclans in season 3? What's going to happen between the Moclans and the Union? Because to a certain extent, Ed said it. He said the Moclans still need us. They will still need us in the fight against the Kalon and everything. But what is going to happen to the female Moclans in specific? Are they going to serve some kind of role? Are the Moclans going to go rogue? And I mean, what happens? Are we going to accept them in society? What do you guys think? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to all the amazing female Moclans who just can't have their voice heard because Moclan men are stubborn? Men are stubborn. You want to ask for directions? No? That's okay. I guess we'll just get lost. Just kidding. Orville season 3 is quarantined until the end of COVID season 1. That's exactly why I want to talk about it actually live at the Love Shack, because I want us to start making our own predictions, and for us to maybe we're absolutely right. Maybe we would make all maybe we make all the right assumptions about the season going in. The quarantine is actually kind of amazing for us to regroup. Sometimes you can overwhelm yourself with information and you don't soak it all in. I've seen it a lot. Like I train people to do a specific type of job, and the training takes 3 days. But those 3 days, it's information. I think, in a way, COVID-19 has kind of been a blessing for those of us truly a part of the Orville family. We have this time to regroup. It's forced us to reach out to each other, to all our brothers and sisters, to be there and support one another, and to let our voices be heard throughout the community. So I actually, in a way, I do think it was a good thing. But I'm a cup half full kind of person. Moclan Union relationship fractures are definitely going to come into play. And I think this is going to be interesting with the fact that we have the Krill on board as well with the Union. We don't believe in Avis, and the Krill believe that we're lesser. Like right now, they've signed a treaty. They have signed a treaty with us, but now we have the conflict of keeping Krill on our side as well as Moclan men. So what do we do? Hey, LDG, welcome to the end of the stream. That's okay. I see the expert agrees. Okay. I don't know what MFS means. Will Moclans be destroyed and the female world is all that remains? Kelly used that, didn't she? Oh, wait. No, she didn't. I'm sorry. Who brought that up? Admiral Halsey? Somebody brought that up during the Federation meeting, that because it's in this cloud and it's hidden and everything, that the Kalon, they're not going to find it. So at the end of the day, if Moclans gets destroyed, the female Moclans are our last hope. So maybe we should respect them a little bit and give them what they're owed. Asking for directions is a form of surrender. Oh, I love you, Bird. I love you so much. What does Tink say? Sorry, my chat's going like all over the place. There it goes. Wow, that was crazy. Sorry. If the Moclans are to remain part of the Union, Sanctuary will have to be neutral territory. Then maybe the elder Moclan who is stuck in old thinking dies, and some less rigid thinkers move forward. That's interesting, Tink. That is an interesting point. I think it could be one of the very likely paths that we could take. Maybe in season 3 we just kind of don't we'll touch on the female Moclans here or there. They're getting used to, they've already had this big movement where they've had acceptance and had their planet recognized as a sanctuary. Maybe it's not touched on so much until we get to the point where they're like, okay, well, the old ways have died, the new ways are here. Maybe that's something that happens. If Moclans is destroyed, the Union will be screwed because their weapons are all built there. It's the manufacturing capital of the Union. Absolutely. And that's the fear. So do we agree with the people that are keeping us from being screwed and say, you know what? Yeah, just so we don't lose our weapons, so we don't lose our defenses, so we're not left dead in the water, let's just get rid of all the female Moclans. That's the conflict, yeah? It's a matter of humanity versus industry, a matter of equal rights versus the greater good, I guess you could say. And that's where our conflict lies, in siding or not siding with whichever side of the Moclans. It's the Union's China. I think we will get an amusing integration of the female Moclans to society because it's Orville, it's got the optimistic Gene Roddenberry spirit. Yeah, little not with that, but season 3 is likely to be cut to a minimum number of episodes and the Moclan females are likely to be dropped. That would be unfortunate, Germ. And hi, I'm sorry, I didn't say hi to you before, I apologize. That would be very unfortunate if the female Moclans were subject to be dropped because at this point, I feel like them and the crew are some of our biggest topics to cover in season 3. It's man talk. That's funny. Cleaning up the Moclan atmosphere may be a topic Seth explores. Okay, that might be something. Okay, I like that. Season 4 and 5 will be under probation until the end of Lawless and Riot. Special female fake. Wow. Okay. I'm a man, not a bird. Okay. Or the Moclan home world will get seriously damaged, but not destroyed, and the females will help restore it, ushering in a new age of genders living together. Okay, I like that. Maybe some kind of issue comes up because it seems like we went to their planet, right? Episode 3. And it's like basically like a Max Fury status, right? It's the clouds the sky is nasty, the pollution is insane, and maybe some kind of really crazy, ridiculous, like environmental issue comes up where all the Moclans' lives are basically put in danger. And it's thanks to, because the females aren't about the industry and the weapons and this and this and that, and they've had to be more intelligent and think for themselves, maybe they're the ones who come up with the solution. And that's the turning point. That's the turning point. I like Happy Dinosaur solution. Oh, I missed some comments. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to miss all your comments. I apologize. I'm still partial to the reason females are said to be lesser is due to psychological warfare against genders. Well, maybe you can explain that just a little bit better. I didn't realize there was a psychological warfare between genders. I guess yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming back, Trey. I appreciate it. Glad Mrs. Mack is doing well. Thank her for being in the hospital during these times. That's amazing. It's amazing that your wife is doing that. The female Moclans will be the allies the Union seek. But Mr. Lindell, how can that be the case? The female Moclans aren't the one building the weapons. They're not the ones who have spent, however long, decades manufacturing and developing weapons. It would be like an entry-level position. They would be coming into this huge position with only entry-level intelligence about it. I guess that's what I meant. Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. It's a good idea to definitely catch up on the Orville and everything. Oh, hey, Ensign. Hello, Ensign Ricky. Glad you can make it, the end of the stream. Going to binge the show so I can follow along by your next show. Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, you should really do it for you. At the end of the day, the Orville, in my opinion, is a show that, while there's comedy and maybe a slapstick joke here or there, which I actually like. Like, I'm one of those women who like really likes like stupid humor sometimes. I'm weird, but it addresses a lot of political, religious issues without you even realizing it. Really. And like I said, I'm glad that quarantine's happening. So we have this time to kind of sit down, rewatch, reanalyze. Because in the moment you see something a certain way, right? How many times do you say, oh, I went back and watched that show and I didn't even realize this was happening. You know, like I didn't even know all these things were happening. Yeah, you have to go back and you have to reanalyze things. So, hey Peggy, welcome. Any society that outlaws boobs isn't a society. That's a very good point. That's a very good point, Mr. Miles. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Are you following me on Twitter? I tweeted out too. Peggy's in the house. We'll save the Union. Rosie, the Moclan Riveter. Don't know who that is. It's not ringing any bells. It all really depends on if Orville stays on Hulu or goes to NBC with Seth. Oh, I didn't think about that. I don't think NBC will give us much freedom as he has had in the past. The Dolly scene. This is from the Dolly scene, too. She's just getting ready to hear Dolly Parton working 9 to 5, become the voice of the generation. But yeah, no, that should be interesting to see what. I think at the end of the day, Seth and the producers like Tom and John and all those guys are going to give us the quality show we know and love. I have no concerns about that, honestly, and I don't think I'm living in a delusional fantasy world. I really have no concerns about the idea that we'll get exactly everything we should expect from the Orville and more. But it will be interesting to see what happens with all this. Orville season 1 box set to rewatch. I mean, it's on Amazon Prime Video to buy. I think it's free on Hulu if you do like even their smallest plan. So Roseanne Moclan will save the Union. Oh, is that the little girl? Maybe that was the little girl. I can't remember. Basically, in human culture, some say one gender is superior. Perhaps Moclans took an extreme step in fighting that by pushing for gender assimilation. That's exactly what I was trying to get to tonight, Angelus, is that how did it get so extreme though? Dear Lord, how did we get to the point where it was complete, total gender assimilation? You can binge it on Hulu. Season 3 is contracted with Hulu. Yes, it is. Season 3 will be through Hulu. And you can watch season 1 and 2 on Hulu now for free, I do believe. My daughter liked the episode with 9 to 5. Oh, yeah, she did. What's up? Dolly Parton. That's everyone, every person's person. You have to love Dolly. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. It's like, it's up to you. Yes, season 3 is on Hulu, and now they have Doug Drexler too. I don't know who that is. I love when she spoke the words part of. Yes, I was saying that kind of earlier, but isn't it so cool how Havina is just like, she just says it and she has like all this, like she feels it. And it's not like a fun little boppy song to her. Like, this is work 9 to 5. I swear that man is out to get me. Right? It's actually really cool. how she integrated that. Havina is one of the best characters. I hope we see much more of her. I think she has a lot to contribute. I think she's definitely like one of those wise people that I feel like she could be a counselor in the fight because she doesn't let her emotions get the best of her. Her emotions are there. But I think for her to be kind of the ambassador of the female Moclans is going to be huge because she still remains very diplomatic about the whole position. Would love to see Havina release a virus that changes. I don't see Havina doing that. She's not vindictive. And I don't know who Rosie the Riverette is. I'm sorry. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think again, if male Moclans want to change back to being female, they're definitely going to make that decision on their own. They're not going to be forced to do it because that's exactly what we're fighting against now. As season 3 is going to be on Hulu, if they think they will lose it, can affect how much. Yeah. So it's definitely interesting to see, I guess, the politics come up here of what's going to happen with who produces our favorite beloved show. You have to buy it on Amazon in the UK if it doesn't play on Fox. I bought it on Amazon too. I bought both seasons. So had you read articles about the Orville yesterday? Had you read any article? Okay. That's something. Peggy, hello. Hi, PJ. Amber says Havina is going to become an even more important ally. I agree, 100%. Havina she's intelligent. She wrote books under a pseudonym that fooled an entire species, basically, and made her one of their most revered idols. I absolutely agree. Havina is going to be key and essential in so much progress across the board. The Orville will never evolve as a sci-fi until we get Sarah Michelle Gellar as a Moclan female warrior. I don't agree with the first part of that statement, but that's actually a pretty cool idea. Somebody submit that one to the producers. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, guys, I just whispered in my ear. We're almost there. We are going to, with your help with this whole discussion, we are going to be able to push for female Moclan equality as best we can. And it's because all of you showed up and all of you showed your support. And all we have to do is help the union see that this is the right thing to do, and also help the Moclans see this is the right thing to do. So I really appreciate you all being here. We're going to go ahead and dock over wherever on earth for the union meeting, and I will let you guys know how it all turns out, even though you already know how it all turns out. So thank you so much for being here. Jalocha, my loves. And until next time, brush up on your Orville. I'm going to be having a giveaway this week. Shh. Brush up on your Orville, trivia and everything, and definitely get ready for the next discussion. It's going to be fun. All right, I can't wait to see you guys. Thank you all for being here. Hugs, kisses. Good night, everyone. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you, Jeff. Take care, everybody. Kronos. Goodbye, my loves.